Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sitdown, and back for another break from Spooktober. This movie dropped last night, like real late. I stayed up and I watched it. And then I woke up and I was like, I gotta review it. So we're not jumping into our Spooktober stuff yet because we've got to talk about my man, Sacha Baron Cohen. Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat, we're getting ready to dive in. Spoiler free. Bear with me on this one. For Borat Subsequent Moviefilm, delivery of prodigious bribe to American regime for make benefit once glorious nation of Kazakhstan. It's the only time I'm going to use the whole title. Any other time we refer to the movie, we'll refer to it as its updated title, which is on everything, Borat Subsequent Moviefilm. But this is the Borat sequel. And I'm not going to lie to you. I loved the first Borat. I thought Sacha Baron Cohen, being somebody that I've watched on television doing these types of things before, where he just kind of creates these characters and runs with it. The Ali G TV show was one of my favorite variety shows back when I was in college. But what I loved about Borat was just the nature of the film. Like, here's this Jewish man playing a Middle Eastern man from, a small Middle Eastern country of Kazakhstan. And he just finds the most searing satire to just go after when it comes to America as a whole. And I thought the first Borat film was perfect and wonderful. And I haven't watched it in a while. Watching this made me want to go back and rewatch it because I remember that film being mostly like these little sketches, that he had planned out to try to trick different people into not knowing what it was they were actually doing. And the thing that I think is most genius about Borat Subsequent Moviefilm is that he found a way to do it again. Like, we've heard people say, like, oh man, this Borat movie was genius, but like you could only ever do that once, especially when it got as big as it got. Like, everybody knew who Borat was, man. I mean, that image of him in that neon green yellowish bikini, like everybody knew, like my grandma knew who Borat was. So like it'd be very difficult to pull this type of a film off again. And it is unbelievably commendable to Sacha Baron Cohen that he found a way to do it again and to go into those dark corners of America where there are people who think and do things that I think the majority of us just sit here and go, how? How is that even possible? And somehow, some way, Sacha Baron Cohen found all sorts of those people again and found a way to dupe them again. I love some of the setups in this. And some of the setups don't even have a payoff, per se, like in the moment, right? Like there's one moment where Borat goes to like this like rally that's going on out in the park, and I'm pretty sure that none of those people knew that's who was on the stage until they see this movie. And the things these people say and how they react to things that Sacha Baron Cohen is saying, it just makes you sit there and go like, these really are like the worst human beings on the earth. But I loved all of the sketches or skits that he sets up to get people. There's one with a fax like company that every time Sacha Baron Cohen goes there for something in the movie, I'm dying because you literally just sit there and you wonder, what in the world could this guy be thinking to just keep going with what Borat's asking this guy to do. But I mean, just all over any of the places that he goes. I mean, there is a moment. I don't know if it was. I didn't do like hardcore research. I just like went to Google, typed in something, and sure enough, there was a news article on what happened at this one event. And I don't know if everybody knew that it was Borat at this event until the movie came out. Maybe it was kind of brought to light afterwards, but the initial news report was that, like some crazy person interrupted something, and like you just sit there and you go, this is the genius of Sacha Baron Cohen. Like, he gets everybody and does it continuously. Like, the fact that he pulled this off again is just wonderful for me. And Sacha Baron Cohen, from an acting perspective, I mean, we know what we're getting. Like, he inhabits these characters in ways that most actors don't inhabit the characters. Like, he legitimately becomes Borat for an entire movie, for all of the press leading up to the movie. And in all of its genius, it just feeds in to, this machine that he's built. And with this film, specifically being around the election and around COVID-19, the areas of satire that he decides to go to and the places and people he decides to go after. I mean, we've all already seen the Rudy Giuliani stuff, with the tucking the shirt into the pants while laying on a bed with a young girl standing around. And I will say this, Rudy's not lying when he says that nothing inappropriate happened. And he legitimately, he had the microphone, he was doing an interview, had the microphone taken off, and then he lays back down into a bed, tucking his shirt in. But not before he's put his hands on this girl's waist, before he's offered her alcohol, and she's supposed to be a 15-year-old girl, offers to have a drink in the bedroom with her, and that's where the microphone stuff comes off, and then eventually, everything gets blown up with Borat showing up. But I'll say this, that sketch just confirms that Rudy ain't the smartest guy in the room, and he's a creepy old dude. That's where we're at. And my personal favorite thing about that entire bit is that Rudy Giuliani, back when the interview happened, came out and did press and was so adamant about how can this guy think that doing this is any good? He's got to come up with a different bit, man. He's never gonna get anybody. Homie, he got you for 30 minutes. A full half hour, you thought this fake interview was going on, and somehow, some way, you gave him exactly what he wanted so that he could run with it and do exactly what he did with it. And for me personally, I'm pretty much, everybody that he goes after, I'm not on their bandwagon at all. So this movie's definitely going to rub some people wrong, probably people in red states wrong. But for me, everybody he goes after in this film is wonderful. And yes, the bar is still pretty low for the types of comedy that Borat will go after. Some of the immature jokes and things that he does in this movie are absolutely hysterical because I live for that humor. I'm sure there's a good handful of people who won't live for that really immature humor. Specifically, there is one moment that involves him and his daughter, Tutar, who's played by Maria Bakalova, who is phenomenal. We'll get to her in a moment, but there's this sequence with the two of them that involves dancing. I almost peed my pants. I was laughing so hard, but it was the immaturity levels are so low. But that type of stuff works for me, and I think it works for most people who are looking to watch the Borat film. So for me, everything Sacha Baron Cohen is doing, from the Borat acting to the Borat, skits that he gets people trapped in, to his brand of comedy, and to the searing satire and things that he is pointing out about America. I mean, he does some wild things in this movie. I mean, there's one moment where he does something and I was like, you would have thought somebody would have hit him by now. Or jumped him or tackled him. Nah. A lot of people give him dirty looks or what the F? And a lot of people just don't seem to care. And that's the stuff that I think stands out the most for me when it comes to Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat. Now, like I said, Maria Bakalova. Holy cow, dude. She was an absolute delight. And the one thing that I found a little bit different with Borat Subsequent Moviefilm than the original Borat is I think there's more directly written movie script story going on in this movie. There's a lot more movie elements and less skits than the first one. Because like I said, you can only pull these types of things off in so many ways. And the ways that Sacha pulls off those sketches, really good. But the story that they bake into the movie this time around, I really dug. And it gave the movie a massive heart that I never would have expected in a Borat film. With the immature joking and just absurd things that Baron Cohen does in this movie, I never expected it to have this massive amount of heart and this really wonderful story, kind of this family story built in underneath all of it. And Maria Bakalova playing his daughter is just genius, man. I mean, they put her through a bunch of different things. She goes through a couple transformative moments. Her appearance changes quite a bit throughout the movie, and I just thought she nailed everything. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you, sign me up for Borat 3 with the two of them. Because I would just, or even give me a scripted Borat show with the two of them, because I would just love to watch her do more stuff. I think she's gonna be a little bit of the breakout in this movie. I think a lot of people are gonna go, no matter how you feel about Borat 2, that Maria Bakalova did something pretty awesome. And I loved the chemistry that she had with Sacha Baron Cohen. I love the relationship that's going on in that movie, and obviously, coming from Borat's world of Kazakhstan, there are some really outrageous things that go into that relationship, but kind of how it evolves and how you go from this is the way that a country is set up, or this is the way that the government tells you something, and then how being a human being can legitimately make you change your mind. I just love that element of the movie, and when you combine that with the outrageous gags that he pulls in this one, I got another big winner from Sacha Baron Cohen. And I know that the president tweeted out after the Rudy Giuliani stuff that, Rudy Giuliani didn't get got by some Hollywood wash-up. Let me tell you this. I got another review coming this weekend for the trial of the Chicago 7. Sacha Baron Cohen is not some washed-up guy in Hollywood. That is a guy who, one, brilliant in this movie, but two, in that trial for the Chicago 7, you've got a supporting actor nomination type of a performance there. I think Sacha Baron Cohen's about to have a really big year, and I'm all about it. But anyway, man, those are all my thoughts. I really enjoyed Borat Subsequent Moviefilm. Made me laugh. I mean, I was up till 2:30 in the morning watching this bad boy, laughing my ass off, because it really is just the type of comedy and that brand and what Cohen, he's going at here. I think the things that he's going after and trying to point out about America, especially going right as we lead right into the election, just some really, really good stuff. And like I said, the actual movie itself plays with some really awesome things. There's one thing in the movie happens toward the end that I was like, all right, I mean, I literally just saw this happen already in something else, but I'll roll with it because it's Borat and it's ridiculous. But those are all my non-spoiler thoughts on Borat Subsequent Movefilm. Now I want to know what you're thinking. You a fan of Borat? Did you wait up last night for this to drop and then watch it late night? Have you caught it yet today? What do you or if you haven't seen it yet, like, what are you hoping for? Did you see the original Borat? What did you like about that? What do you hope he can pull off here? Is this a movie that you think he could have pulled off? And just anything that you're thinking about, what he has to say about masks and the pandemic and the election, anything that's going on. And if you can keep it spoiler free, please do so. But let me know what your favorite moments were. Like I said, the dancing scene with his daughter is amazing. As he does with the fax machine guy. Oh God, if you can do things like that, man, let me know what was working for you in this movie. This movie doesn't land for you. Like I said, I think there's a contingency of people that probably aren't gonna like this movie because of certain things that Borat's doing. But if you're in that group of people, let me know what wasn't working in the movie. Good, bad, indifferent, everything about Borat Subsequent Moviefilm down below in the comment section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the old C-Man, anytime we're talking movies, trailers, TV, getting ready to dive back into Spooktober action later, you want to be here for all that? You haven't yet? Come show a little love, support, join the rest of the C-Maniacs by jumping over there, hitting that subscribe button, hit that little bell for those alerts. And until next time, the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down. I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace! You guys are still here? You must be looking for some more content. Well, don't worry. C-Man's got you covered, man. You got videos like this guy and this guy. And if you haven't yet, and you want to come check out all the C-Man goodies, join the Cinema Sit Down squad, man. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell down below that, too, so you can get alerts every time I make new videos.